Ms. Berry, let me just start with you. You said in response to a question from, I think it was Senator Graham, you praised the protests going on campuses. I just want to make sure I got this right, so you correct me now, as a national organic human rights movement. What did you mean by that?
The mass movement in support of Palestinian human rights is happening on college campuses across the country after students are learning more about the history of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict and the specific targeting of Palestinian human rights. Yes.
Oh, okay. I just want to be clear about what you're praising and not praising.
Well, praising.
Let's have a look here. So,
yeah.
This long live the Intifada.
Yeah.
Is this an example of the what did you say, national organic human rights movement that you mean? Is this a human rights movement?
I'm not sure that using the term Intifada, which literally just means to like shake off or get rid of, is effective, as most Americans don't actually associate it with a human rights issue. So I don't think that's effective. No, Senator?
Wait a minute.
Welcome back to America First, where we dig deep, expose hypocrisy, and fight for truth and justice in America. If you believe in defending American values, if you're tired of double standards on our college campuses, and if you want real talk about the threats facing our country today, then smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss our content. United, we hold the line. Today's video is about a Senate hearing you probably won't see honestly covered in the mainstream media. We're talking about Senator Josh Hawley absolutely grilling M. Berry, a leader from the Arab American Institute, about the meaning behind the protest slogan, "Long live the Intifada," and other disturbing messages we're seeing on college campuses across America.
You don't think it's effective, but you would agree that this is calling for the destruction of the state of Israel. This is after the
No, Senator.
No, it's not. This isn't calling for the killing of Jews.
I don't know that person, and I don't know that sign. So
You don't know what this
for.
means?
I don't think.
You haven't seen this before? Did you see these protests on Rabbi, do you know what this means?
Yes, it's a call for the destruction of the state of Israel and probably the killing of Jews everywhere.
I do not agree with that, Senator.
You don't think that's hate speech right here?
Long live the Intifada can mean different. As I see the problem.
It can mean different things. Wait a minute. These are protests, violent protests on campuses that targeted Jewish students, attacked them personally, prevented them from going to camp, going to class, put them in fear of their safety after the October 7th attacks on the state of Israel that murdered more Jews than at any time since the Holocaust. And you're saying you think that this is an ambiguous message?
I'm saying that any student targeted on campus, a Jewish student.
Will you condemn this right here? Right here. Long live the Intifada. Will you condemn that?
Condemning Jewish students on a campus is being targeted, and the Office of Civil Rights should successfully be given funding.
Will you condemn this as hate speech?
I think that can be hate speech, but I don't think it's automatically hate speech. The problem is that there's nuance I'm trying to introduce to this conversation.
What's the nuance when these people are marching and calling for Jews to be killed?
Sir, because Intifada also means uprising for Palestinians. The way
so it's ambiguous, so it's hard to say. Well, my gosh. Okay, let's try another one. What about this?
Please, audience will please.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's fine. We know what you think. Right, exactly. I mean, I think you've made it clear. Those who were cheering earlier when Senator Cruz was asking about the attempts to destroy and kill Jews. Let's just be clear about what's going on here, because here's what's happening at this hearing. We can't talk about anti-Semitism without also talking about something else. The message that's being sent today at this hearing today is anti-Semitism isn't enough. The attempts to kill Jews on campuses, that's not a conversation worthy of discussion. You've got to add something else to it. So if you want to kill Jews, oh, well, we can't talk about that unless we also talk about 15 other things. And now we have a witness sitting here who will not condemn the attempts on these campuses that are blatantly anti-Semitic tropes, Nazi tropes to try and kill Jews. What about this one? There's only one solution. Is that a national organic human rights movement?
No, sir. I trust that's in reference to Holocaust, and that's
I would think the final solution. Okay, what about this? What about this? Glory to our martyrs.
Again, I don't understand the point of messaging like that. I don't know what that means.
Would you condemn this as anti-Semitic? This was projected here in Washington, D.C. on the campus in front of Jewish students following the October 7th massacre.
I think that that is not appropriate speech at a time.
There's hate speech in the context, don't you think?
Sure, but the point is I would prefer to focus on the issue of hate crime. That's the reason I'm saying that.
This is a hate crime. When you threaten to kill Jews and destroy the state of Israel, that's hate speech.
No,
that's a hate crime.
Threatening to kill anyone, including Jews, is
let's not pretend that it's ambivalent or ambiguous or we're not sure. How about this one? Free Palestine from the river to the sea.
That's not hate speech, sir.
You don't think that this is a call for the destruction of the state of Israel?
Again, I can speak to what I think, which is amazing because I'd love to talk about what I think, but I really think the focus of our hearing
You don't think that after the October 7th attacks, when this was projected in front of a group of Jewish students right here in the District of Columbia, you don't think that's an attempt to intimidate them and call for the destruction of the state of Israel?
Focusing on hate crime, I would say if
Just
that
yes or
were
no?
displayed on a synagogue, then it's a hate crime. If it was displayed on a Hillel, then it's a hate crime. If it's displayed elsewhere, I trust its speech.
Well, and then we wonder why our students are confused. Rabbi, let me just ask you, are you confused about this message?
I'm not confused, and I'll add that even if it was ambiguous and could mean different things to different people, Senator, can you imagine if there was a phrase that also meant kill all the black people? Would we be okay with projecting it because it might also mean something else to someone else?
No, I mean, well said, well said. I'm almost done, Mr. Chairman, but let me just ask, since the witness talked about a national human rights movement, let me just ask about a couple others. University of North Carolina chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine claimed, it is our moral obligation to be in solidarity with the dispossessed, no matter the pathway to liberation they choose to take. This includes violence. Would you condemn that?
I'm sorry, was that for me?
Yes. It is our moral obligation to be in solidarity with the dispossessed, no matter the pathway to liberation they choose to take. This includes violence. You condemn that?
I certainly condemn violence.
Good. You condemn that statement?
I condemn violence. I have no interest in engaging in this back and forth about individual statements of students.
You know what? I do have an interest in it, and here's why. What I just read to you, the United States Senate unanimously condemned this rhetoric. And unless we take a stand now on this rhetoric, on this specific rhetoric out of the mouths of these students that you have called National Organic Human Rights Movement protesters, we are going to send the message that trying to kill Jews on campus, trying to prevent Jews from going to class on campus is just okay. It's just another viewpoint.
Senator,
it's not just another viewpoint. And frankly, what you're trying to do here today, I think, is wrong.
Your time has expired.
This isn't just a debate over words. It's a battle for the soul of our universities and what kind of speech and ideology we allow to fester in our public institutions. I'm going to break down what happened in this hearing, what the slogans really mean, why they matter, and what it says about the state of our country. First, let's set the stage. Since Hamas's brutal terrorist attack on Israel on October 7th, we've seen a huge spike in anti-Semitic protests and rhetoric on campuses across America. Jewish students are being harassed, threatened, and sometimes physically blocked from going to class. It's not just speech. It's intimidation, and it's dangerous. Senator Hawley, one of the few senators willing to call out this madness, confronts these issues head-on in this hearing. He asks the tough questions that demand real answers. Hawley begins by asking Berry to clarify her praise for the so-called National Organic Human Rights Movement happening on college campuses. He's referring to the pro-Palestinian protests where slogans like "Long live the Intifada" are being chanted. Berry tries to downplay the meaning of Intifada, saying it literally means to shake off, as if it's just an innocent phrase. But let's be honest, anyone who knows Middle East history knows Intifada refers to violent uprisings against Israel, marked by suicide bombings, shootings, and attacks targeting civilians. Thousands died in the First and Second Intifadas. This isn't a neutral call for human rights. It's a phrase associated with terror. Hawley presses Berry. Does she condemn these slogans? Is she willing to say that "Long live the Intifada" is not a human rights movement, but a call for violence? Berry refuses to give a straight answer, instead calling the meaning nuanced. She claims it can mean different things to different people. But let's be real, folks. Imagine if someone chanted "Long live the Klan" and tried to say it just meant community pride. We would never accept that excuse. When it comes to anti-Semitic rhetoric, why do activists get a free pass to hide behind nuance? Hawley brings up the violence and intimidation Jewish students have faced since October 7th. We're talking about students being chased, blocked from buildings, and shouted down with genocidal slogans. He asks Barry if she'll condemn these actions. Again, she dodges. She says she's against targeting students, but refuses to call the slogans hate speech outright. This isn't just about policy differences. This is about basic safety and decency on our campuses, and right now it's being sacrificed for radical politics. Hawley doesn't stop there. He reads out other slogans seen at these protests. There's only one solution, a clear echo of the Nazi final solution. Glory to our martyrs, glorifying terrorists who kill innocent civilians. Free Palestine from the river to the sea, a call for the destruction of Israel, erasing it from the map. Barry either downplays or refuses to directly condemn these slogans. She claims unless these are displayed on a synagogue, they're not hate speech. That's absurd. If it's hate against any group, it's hate, period. A rabbi at the hearing cuts through all the excuses. He says, "Can you imagine if a phrase also meant kill all the black people? Would we be okay with projecting it just because it might have another meaning? Of course not. There's no ambiguity. Why are we tolerating it when it's directed at Jews?" Hawley reads a statement from a University of North Carolina's Students for Justice in Palestine. It is our moral obligation to be in solidarity with the dispossessed no matter the pathway to liberation they choose to take. This includes violence. He asks Barry if she'll condemn this. Only after being pressed does she say, "I condemn violence," but she refuses to directly criticize the students or the group. This is the kind of moral cowardice allowing extremism to flourish on campus. Let's not forget, the United States Senate, in a rare moment of unity, unanimously condemned this kind of rhetoric. Democrats and Republicans alike. But still, the so-called leaders of these movements refuse to take stand against hate and violence. Here's a question for you. If a right-wing group called for violence or genocide, would they be given a platform on campus? Of course not. They'd be banned and denounced immediately. But left-wing activists can call for Israel's destruction, glorify terrorism, and threaten their Jewish classmates, and university administrations and activists bend over backwards to excuse it. This is the double standard poisoning our institutions and putting students at risk. Hawley's message is clear. If we don't take a stand against this hate now, we're sending a message that trying to kill Jews or drive them out of campus life is just another perspective. This isn't just an academic debate, it's a moral crisis. This is about more than Israel, more than Jews. It's about America's values and future. Do we stand for freedom, safety, and genuine diversity? Or do we let extremists dictate who is safe on campus and who is not? If we don't speak up, we lose the very foundation of what makes America great. So here's what we need to do. Patriots, demand accountability from our universities. No more hiding behind nuance. Hate is hate. Support leaders like Senator Hawley, who have the guts to call out extremism. Educate others about the true meaning behind these slogans and why they're dangerous. And most importantly, stand united for American values, for freedom, for safety, for truth. If you agree, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video so we can wake more people up to what's going on. Drop a comment below. Do you think our universities have lost their way? Should more leaders speak out against this kind of hate? I want to hear your thoughts. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay proud to be American. This is America First, and we're not backing down. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.